The story begins where the world vanished before my eyes. My favorite game, the one I'd spent thousands of hours on, shut down its servers forever. I just stood there, staring at the black screen, feeling an emptiness only a true gamer understands. I needed something more, something that would really test me, that would push me to the limit. So I started searching the deepest corners of the internet until I found a title that promised to have no end. My curiosity was piqued. Without a second thought, I chose the highest difficulty, Hell Mode, and to top it off, I selected the hardest class to master, the Summoner. The moment I hit play, the monitor didn't show a loading screen. Instead, I felt a violent suction, my body dissolved into data and was absorbed by the machine. When I woke up, I wasn't a hero in armor, I was a newborn baby. I've been reincarnated as Alan. My father, Ruden, a rough but kind-hearted man, couldn't stop smiling when he saw me. My mother, Theresia, looked at me with a tenderness I never knew in my other life. We are a family of poor farmers in a rural village, living under a feudal lord, but there is no shortage of love. My parents are only 20, so I'll probably have siblings soon. I like the idea of a big family, although my current reality is farming land and paying taxes. One night, while silence reigned in the house, I decided to try my luck. I remembered the classic isekai tropes and whispered, "Open status window." A modern holographic menu didn't appear. Instead, an ancient grimoire materialized out of nowhere. I got the scare of my life. I heard footsteps and slammed the book shut, pretending to be fast asleep before my parents entered the room. When I was sure they weren't watching me, I summoned the book again. The first page was depressing. My stats were in the lowest possible range. Normal for a baby, I guessed, but on the next page was my summoning ability. I could summon H-rank creatures, insects and beasts. Suddenly, the book glowed and the pages turned by themselves. A message appeared from Elmia, the creator of this world, saying the summoner class was still in beta testing and apologizing for any inconvenience. Seriously, a beta world? I thought, but didn't care. I tried using the enchantment to summon an insect 1, 2, 10 times. Nothing. Maybe I need to create the card first, I reasoned. I visualized an H-rank insect card and it worked, but just as I was about to materialize it, I heard Teresa approaching. Back to faking it. I really fell asleep that time. The next morning, with my father chopping wood and my mother washing clothes outside, I saw my chance. I recited the spell and the room filled with luminous spiritual spheres. It was beautiful, but I had to be quick. The lights condensed and suddenly, a cat-sized grasshopper appeared before me with an unfriendly face. "Come here," I ordered with my half-developed baby voice. The bug ignored me completely and looked away. Is it dumb or what? I wondered. I checked the grimoire for any missing requirements and opened its status menu. I named it Dina. As I did, I felt a change. That little insect gave me a +1 bonus to resistance and agility. Incredible. I blurted out, "Bad idea." Teresa came running in. She saw the giant bug and with a scream of disgust, she stomped on it, instantly disintegrating it. I didn't give up. I kept practicing in secret whenever I could. Days later, I decided to try a beast. A white rat emerged from the light. Like Dina, it seemed to not have a single working neuron, but at least it was a start. I named it Mousy. Upon checking its statistics, I discovered it had a special skill called Elusive. I managed to activate the ability and suddenly, Mousy started running at full speed around me like a white blur. It got me thinking, if a simple H-rank rat can do this, what kind of legendary monsters will I control in the future? For now, my limit is 10 cards, so I wasted no time and created 10 copies of Mousy. Instantly, I felt a rush of adrenaline. My attack stats went up thanks to the accumulated buffs from the rats. With that strength boost, even at just 1 year old, I could move logs and help with firewood. But it wasn't enough. There were times when, sweaty and exhausted, I regretted choosing Hell Mode. How much easier would it have been on normal difficulty? One day my father came home covered in myoglobin and blood. Theresia got scared thinking he was hurt, but he laughed. He had been on a wild boar hunt. He proudly looked at me and asked if I wanted to see the prey. I nodded excitedly and he carried me on his shoulders to the town square. On the way I saw a flock of aleros, birds so massive they look like dinosaurs. "Those are real monsters, Alan," Dad told me. "I named you after them. I want you to be free, flying through this world with nothing stopping you." I fell asleep in his arms as we walked, but he woke me up when we arrived. In front of me was the great boar. Touching its rough skin, I felt a chill. It was immense. I seriously doubted if I would ever be able to defeat such a beast. Jeta, one of our neighbors, came to cheer on my father. The whole town treated him like a hero. Not everyone can take down a beast that size. Jeta noticed my black hair and eyes, and when I waved back, he almost fell from the shock. He couldn't believe a 1-year-old could speak so clearly. He told me I was growing much faster than his daughter, Kreda, who is my age. I asked about the boar and Jeta explained it was a C-rank monster. That helped me understand the huge gap I still have to climb. 10 months flew by. I am 1 year and 10 months old. I've been polishing my skills and finally unlocked G-rank summons. I even discovered I can fuse H and G-rank cards to create something new. I tried my new power, but a notification popped up, low MP. I thought maybe it was hunger, so I ran to the table and devoured a giant plate of food under my parents' worried gaze. I returned to my room, hoping the mana had recharged with the food, but nothing. No fusions, no new cards, low MP over and over again. I had to give up for the moment. 3 years later, having just turned 5, my body and my mana resistance finally matured enough. I took a rank G card and a rank H card and fused them. The glow was different this time, it worked. I summoned my first rank G bird, a bird I named Chappie. Its agility and strength stats were level 2, but the best thing was its ability. Voice mimicry, that would be a gold mine for tricking enemies in combat. I went out to the garden to test my new pets. First I took out Hoppy, a little hopping bird that followed me everywhere. Then Chappie. Finally, after so much effort in this hell mode, I was starting to feel like a real summoner. I asked Hoppy to start jumping from side to side. My plan was to use those erratic movements to distract any opponent in the future. Then I called Molly, a creature with an impressive digging ability. As soon as I gave the order, Molly dug a deep hole in seconds, perfect for setting traps and ambushes. I was there, lost in my fantasies as a great strategist when I took a wrong step and fell into the same hole Molly had dug. That blow brought me back to reality. I am still a kid and I can't fight anyone for real yet. It struck 3 in the afternoon and I started to get nervous. Far away I heard the voice that always puts me in a bind. It was Kreda, Cheetah's daughter, coming to play like every day. We took out our wooden swords for our daily duel. Kreda is absurdly fast and has a strength that doesn't match her age. She just ran me over without me being able to defend any of her attacks. I ended up biting the dust. Once again, I am a reincarnated expert gamer, but in this 3-year-old body, she beats me easily. My parents arrived just as we were finishing. Teresa's belly was already huge. Just as I had predicted, a little brother or sister was on the way. Ruden and mom said goodbye to Kreda and we went inside. I suggested to my father that he let me help with the harvest, since my mother shouldn't strain herself in her condition. Thanks, Alan, but no, Ruden told me with a smile. You've helped a lot in the house, but you are 3. The farm is no place for you. Though my strength is adult-like due to card buffs, I know to them I am still their little one. Teresa told me to keep playing with Kreda, and they mentioned how much we've improved at dueling. Then Dad mentioned something that intrigued me, the appraisal ceremony. He explained that at age 5, all children undergo a ritual to discover what skills they have. If someone gets a special skill, they can stop being a serf and change their fate. Ruden also asked me why I spend my time throwing stones at the tree outside. I lied, saying it was to protect us from monsters, but the truth was different. I was testing if I had any other hidden combat abilities besides summoning. The next day, while practicing summons, I could now last all day without getting tired. Kreda showed up for a duel. I lost again, as usual. Just then, Dad arrived, and Mom came out to meet him. But as bad luck would have it, the Nama I summoned jumped near her. Teresia was so scared that she tripped and fell, overwhelmed by pain. Her water broke. The baby was coming. Ruden sent Kreda to get her mother Matilda while he carried Teresia to bed. I ran to put water on to boil. Just as I announced the water was ready, Matilda arrived and kicked us men out of the room. We spent hours outside, almost falling asleep against the wall until a cry broke the silence. "It is a boy," yelled Matilda. We went in excited. My father decided to call him Mash. Teresia raised an eyebrow, asking if that wasn't also a monster's name, and my father's smile confirmed everything. Seeing my new family so happy, I wondered why I was reincarnated here. In my past life, I was just a lonely workaholic with a dull life. There is nothing I miss about that world. Here, for the first time, I feel like I belong. My only goal now is to become strong enough to get my family out of servitude. Teresa asked me to greet my brother, but as soon as I got close, Mash burst into tears. I got scared, thinking I had done something wrong, but my parents just laughed and said babies are like that. I am definitely enjoying this new life, but this is just the beginning. We'll have to see how much more I can grow. Thanks for making it to the end. Comment part 2 if you liked the video, subscribe and like to help the channel continue to grow more.